Hello. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be reviewing the 1992 Chanel Spring Summer Runway show designed by none other than Mr. Karl Lagerfeld himself. So let's get into it. What I loved so much about Chanel in the 90s was the ability to stay classic and true to their brand, while still being innovative, with fashion designer and icon Karl Lagerfeld being the creative director. Now, Mr. Karl was responsible for creating the legendary double C's that we see on all of the Chanel pieces till this very day. Now, this particular fashion show I'm obsessed with because of the beautiful pastels, also bright, vivid colors, the elegant swimwear that was showcased. It was just a complete different time for fashion. Every brand had their signature style that you could spot and tell exactly which fashion house these pieces came from. The designer's talents were also highlighted and brought to life with some of the biggest supermodels of the 90s. We had the iconic Miss Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Yasmin Ghauri, Linda Evangelista, Claudia Schiffer, Helena Christensen, as well as Beverly Peele and Miss Christy Turlington. Now, these were some of the 90s Big Five supermodels. Their movement and runway walks were the epitome and very definition of iconic, which brought more attention to the fabulous clothes they were modeling. So let's talk about the looks that were modeled. Now, all of these pieces are still on trend and can be worn so many different ways. There are pieces for almost anyone to wear, and the clothes were realistic, unlike in what we see in some of today's fashion, where you would need to be attending a ball or an award show. There is a piece for everyone. Your working woman, your more refined older woman, and your younger woman who's looking to switch up her style while still remaining timeless. Every piece in this show is current and on trend within today's time. And some pieces are even conversation starters because they are vintage and were designed by Mr. Lagerfeld. I am always in awe of the models of the 90s who modeled the clothing because of their charisma, poise, and honey, their walks. These aren't the runway walks of today. These walks were filled with sass, confidence, and they intrigued their audience. And honestly, I can only get into 90s fashion shows because of the models who modeled the clothing. They brought the fashion shows to life. They made you really want the pieces they were wearing and actually sold the product to you. Even the hair is on point in this show, and I've seen some questionable hairstyles in fashion shows, okay? Let me tell you something. Karl put his entire creative mind into this show and just 90s Chanel, period. When I tell you this man gave people looks they didn't even know they wanted or needed until they hit that runway, he just gave us looks galore, and this show proved just that. I mean, every piece that is in this runway show, whether you like it or not, you cannot deny this man's talent. Now me, I want this entire collection, and I mean every single piece. Yes, that includes the yard hats, the bamboo hats, all of the crazy hats that someone may think that is absurd. I want the tulle skirts and tutus, the double C bodysuits, the tweed jackets, the chunky pearls. As you can tell, I'm obsessed with this show. And you can never go wrong with black clothing. It goes with everything and hides everything as well. But you for certain can't go wrong with all black Chanel. Now, I want to dive into the quality of the clothing back then, because there has definitely been a decline of the quality of fabric that we receive, the time and dedication taken when making clothes, and just overall the designs we've been getting for the past few years. My grandmother still has some of her pieces from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are still in impeccable shape, and not a thread has been undone. There aren't any tears, which is a testament to how clothing was made back in the day, and also how it wasn't just about making money, but wanting their clients to have items that lasted and that represented the brand, and how serious the designers took their jobs and how much they loved creating. The quality of fabric we see in this show is outstanding. You're able to see the quality craftsmanship, how they took their time to not only create pieces, but create pieces that complement the body while keeping its elegance. There was an appreciation and love for their craft and for the people who would be wearing their clothing. There was pride and overall passion for fashion, as silly as it may sound to some. That is what makes a good designer, is the passion, love, and dedication to the art that is fashion. What I love about the pastels in almost every Chanel show is that it's significant to Chanel. Like when I see a particular baby blue or yellow, I automatically associate it with Chanel. Not because they created that color, but because it's so bright and vivid, but yet smooth, calm, and mellow. But I want to talk about the vacation wear in this show. The vacation wear in this show is so elegant. It stands out from your basic swimwear that everyone purchases around the spring, summertime. The halter neck dresses that are snug to the body, yet not too snug, but enough to show the feminine frame. The big beach hats in white, the fruit hats and wicker hats are not your average swimwear. You are bound to stick out, and in a good way, when arriving with these pieces. The abstract cover-ups and the beautiful flowy dresses are all of your fashion lovers' dreams, especially if you love vintage pieces. I also want to add this. Just because you like the more traditional, elegant pieces doesn't make you stuck up, snobby, or boring. If you decide that you would like to dress more feminine in a bit more of a 90s classic style, that is a choice of yours. Never let someone push their fears or judgment onto you when it comes to style and fashion. You have to navigate and learn what you do and don't like when it comes to what you wear. No one should determine what you wear simply because they don't like it and it doesn't fit in with today's fashion trends. Because truthfully speaking, a lot of today's fashion trends are a hot mess or just repetitive, and a lot of people are trying to look like the next person. You do what makes you happy when it comes to fashion, and if you do want to switch it up from time to time with some trendy pieces, but also classic, then you can do that as well. But remember to stay true to your own personal style and not compare yourself to others when it comes to fashion. What may look good on someone else may not be fitting for you, and vice versa. You don't have to look like the next person to be beautiful. There is only one you. And it's something that is often repeated, but it is the God-honest truth, and no one can change that. God only made one of you, and he doesn't make any mistakes with his creation. So just remember that when you start comparing yourself to the next person, whether it be fashion, looks, body, or anything. You are special and were created for a purpose. And I know I just rambled on and got completely off track, but I felt the need to say that. And I know someone out there needed to hear that, and you need to believe it as well. And yes, sometimes it's easier said than done, but the moment you stop comparing yourself to others, you will step into your true purpose, and you will also be much happier and free. And that is all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in me reviewing some more fashion shows. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ta-ta!